Hello and welcome to Movies with My Dad, the podcast where I, film critic Tina Kakadelis, take my dad Stratus to the movies. This week, we saw Twisters, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, starring Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, and Anthony Ramos. Join us on the car ride home. What?
Are we ready?
Yeah. You
Let's go
feel the
chase
wind?
some storms, baby.
In this car? This itty bitty little thing?
We'll go for a big ride. All right, what did we just go see, Tina?
Oh my, I'm assuming you liked it. Twisters!
And tell me you didn't like it.
Oh, man. Cinema is back, baby. Cinema is back. I loved it.
It was absolutely everything you want in a summer. I was gonna say rom-com, but definitely not a rom-com.
Okay, but it kind of...
It had some rom, not so much com.
And it had a little calm.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But in
you want to give a little synopsis of what... Some character names?
Literally, it's Twisters. It's about tornadoes in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And a follow-up for the original Twister movie, which was 1990 something? 8 something?
I think it's 24 years. No, that would be 2000. That doesn't feel right.
Some 30 years almost.
Yeah, maybe it's 34 years.
All right, so there is the young college student who is fascinated by tornadoes since she was a little itty bitty.
Yeah.
And she has...
Daisy is her actor name. Daisy Edgar Jones. She is British.
She was really good.
She's very good. You've seen her in a movie before that you hated.
Well, I did not hate this one then.
Okay.
What's her name in the movie?
Kate.
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 So she is the scientist, or wanting to be a meteorologist scientist, and then she had a brilliant idea to how to tame a tornado in grad school, or I guess it was grad school.
I think so.
And then it goes horribly wrong, and she loses three of her closest friends and research associates. Mm-hmm. So that sends her off into corporate world, working in an office building in Manhattan.
The National Weather Service.
I don't think they have an office in Manhattan, but they might.
That's what you're going to fact check?
No, I'm going to keep going. So you do the other characters.
And so she gets pulled back, inevitably, by her old buddy. This is too much of a plot synopsis.
It is too much of a plot synopsis.
And then we got my boy, Tyler Owens. Glenn Powell. You watched him in Hitman less than a month ago.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a solid man.
He is a good-looking guy. He's the guy with the dog that I showed you before the movie started.
I figured that's who that was, but... Okay, so he was charming, interesting. The character development was phenomenal for him.
Yeah.
He went from being the Yahoo YouTuber, adventure seeker, to being a deep... interesting
heartfelt
person.
Sweetie pie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed by where they went with this.
So, the director of this movie, the reason why I felt I was in good hands is this man named Lee Isaac Chung, who the last movie that he did was this tiny itty-bitty indie movie called Minari. That was about a Korean family, I think, that immigrated to the United States and lived in Oklahoma somewhere, or I think it was Oklahoma, somewhere in the Tornado Alley-ish area. Started a farm, and that's how they made a livelihood, but then also struggling to fit in, I think in the 90s. Beautiful movie. Some of these shots from Twisters felt like they could have been in Minari. Some of them out in the open and the waving cornfields and all of that. It was too beautiful for a blockbuster, and that's why I loved it.
So has he done any other large-scale movies?
This size? No. No, he is an indie man through and through.
Wow.
I know.
That's a massive jump.
I was blown away. Literally.
I mean, he had character development. Blown away.
Thank you so much.
Character development.
He didn't write it.
Okay.
But he directed it. But still, to go from directing an intimate family portrait, essentially, to a blockbuster is a massive leap.
So are we going to discuss the largest disappointment about the movie?
No cow.
No cow.
Okay, see, I'm fine with that though, because like the
No.
main no. Here's my thing.
Well, explain what the
Twister.
cow. Yeah, okay.
Everybody knows the cow.
Everybody knows the cow.
I hadn't even seen Twister for a long time, except ridden the ride at Universal. But I knew about the cow, you know?
Okay.
Everybody knows the cow. But Twister, I think, made the tornadoes feel unbelievable. Like, rewatching it recently, you don't feel like, you don't see the devastation, like, you don't feel the reality of it. You don't feel what's at stake.
Definitely not what's at stake. That is true. And I watched it recently as well,
Oh my gosh.
just in preparation for this.
Oh, look at you preparing.
I'm prepared.
Wow.
But I mean, they had some of it, but they
not
didn't delve into the impact and what it does to the communities. I will say, we're never going to Oklahoma.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh.
there were tornadoes after tornadoes after tornadoes.
Well, that feels slightly exaggerated for the film. However,
well, they said it was once in a lifetime or century
Yeah.
amount of tornadoes, but I don't know about the Oklahoma Tourist Board would be very happy with this depiction.
they shot it with Oklahoma dollars, so.
But I will say they made the Oklahoma rural communities seem wonderful and, you know, a place you want to go be.
Well, I mean, that's what, like, to me, the reason, like, the blockbusters of the 80s and the 90s were impossible, like, somewhat impossible circumstances, right? Like, you have E.T., you have Indiana Jones,
Sure.
You've got Star Wars, all of these slightly impossible
They barely feel
constructs.
connected to reality.
But then underneath of it is like the honest, earnest heart of people wanting to help other people. It doesn't come off as saccharine
felt
or
genuine.
trying too hard
Right.
or anything. Like, it's going for the actual sentiment over sentimentality that's winking at you or like being overtly in your face. This was just, it was beautiful. I was so happy. And I cried.
Oh my gosh, you found a moment to cry in there?
You didn't?
No. What was the
Well,
cry part?
I cried at the end when she decides that she's going to take the rig out and
Oh.
unleash their stuff,
Oh, that
knowing
was-
full well the risk of it all.
Yeah, but I thought that was, you didn't see that one coming? She
doesn't matter.
She had to save the town.
Do you think it matters if I see it coming or not?
No, I guess not.
I know that every Pixar movie that I see is going to make me cry. I teared up in the Wild Robot trailer. Like, I was primed. I was ready. I could have cried at a few other places, but I think
Wait, you're supposed to be a callous film critic.
I don't
You're not
believe
supposed
in
to
that.
cry.
I cry in everything. Oh my goodness. I love crying in a movie. Nothing thrills me quite like that.
The other thing I really loved about this movie,
Mm-hmm.
their depiction of science and scientists.
Let's hear it, because you had some thoughts about the jet engine specialist
Oh, that was in the
in
credits.
the credits.
Because you didn't watch. You may have done your homework and watched Twister recently, but you didn't watch the making of Twister recently.
You would be correct. I don't know where to find the
I
making
found
of
that
Twister.
on YouTube, and in the original
Oh,
Twister,
Tyler would be so proud.
in the original Twister, they used a jet engine and fans and other things to create the Twister effect for the actors. So literally, they were blowing the actors with a jet engine wash.
That's
so,
crazy.
It was crazy to watch them do this. Like, they're like, "Hey, what about if we get a jet engine? Our fans aren't spinning fast enough. Let's get a jet engine off a 707."
That's not. I mean, I did see Daisy struggle to open the car door a few times, so they were doing some sort of high fans.
I'm assuming they did
shooting
that
at 'em.
again
Yeah, that would make
for
sense.
this movie. So, and the special effects were phenomenal.
And the sound design.
Sound and the
It's
music.
like, the score was stunning. Oh my gosh,
Somebody
I
might think we
miss
like this movie, Tina.
melodic scores. I miss like those big, like those big scores that are so ingrained in your memory from like your childhood of film.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
does this mean I don't have to go to any more of these crappy indie horror films you've been taking me to?
No, that
Can't we
doesn't-
just go to any epic movie like this?
Okay, how would you? This
Well, I would have
could've-
thought this would have been schlock.
See?
Right, I agree. I
See?
didn't think they could really pull
How are
this
you
off.
gonna know? And
We
I
just
like
don't know.
that they didn't like rest on their laurels. Like the only real mention of Twister is when somebody sets the laptop on Dorothy in the beginning.
Yes, Dorothy 5.
Right. And that's it. But other than that, they don't really.
And for the throwback, for anyone that can remember the original Twister, Dorothy was the scientific instrument that they used to measure a tornado.
And then Javi named his team after
The
that
Wizard of
too.
Oz.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that was cute. But it wasn't something that was just like checking boxes to get a paycheck, you know? Like
Yes.
it never felt like that. And with like these sequels and things, I feel like that is a recurring.
It doesn't feel like someone in the head office at whatever was this, Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers and
know.
Universal. I think it was a joint thing.
They didn't just dictate what they were doing. So the one thing that I thought was a little odd, right? That they're driving through all these tornadoes. They keep driving at tornadoes.
Why not?
Right? That's fine. I mean, they have to get close. They're riding it, and you want that because you want the roller coaster ride as a moviegoer
Right.
to experience this. Stuff is flying like crazy.
How they never
Houses
get
are
hit.
coming by. The trucks get hit constantly, but not a single window breaks. I don't understand where the windshields.
It cracks.
Only one, but there were so many other times that they should have just shattered.
You know the thing that bothered me?
That was the only thing that actually bothered me from a technical perspective.
Oh, not technical, because I certainly am not here for technical. What bothered me, I like Daisy's performance as Kate, but they kept calling her City Girl, and the girl did not have an Oklahoman accent, like any point in time.
I think you're.
It kept going in and out, and I just like wanted, like it just, that wasn't that.
What do you mean going in and out? She never had it in.
No, she does. In the beginning, she has an Oklahoman accent.
I missed that.
It fades in and out, and like only comes up in certain. And it would have made sense to me if she had it really, really strong in the beginning, but then tried to like hide it when she moved to New York as like to repress that tragic event. But she would have it again later.
So, changing gears for a second, who was Mom? I know I've seen her before.
Maura Tierney, I think.
And what's she known for?
I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head.
You know her name, but you don't know what she's known for.
Correct.
I guess you should be happy about that.
I didn't say I was happy about it. I liked his little band of oddball buddies, too.
Yes.
Sasha Lane's great. I wish Sasha Lane was in more movies. The one that drove the drone.
Oh, she was interesting.
Sasha Lane's great.
So there was the corporate world going after tornadoes, and then there was the ragtag team led by our buddy Tyler.
Yeah? Look
There you
at
go.
you.
I'm
Because
starting
he's
to
such a
remember names.
good-looking man.
He is a good-looking man.
You just can't stop thinking about a good-looking man named Tyler Owens. You know the guy, the corporate team, who was the mean guy?
Yeah.
He's going to be the new Superman. Your thoughts on
What?
that?
That guy?
Yeah. Not Javi.
No.
The
it's
other
not
guy.
Javi.
Yeah, the only other guy on the team that had like a speaking role.
I'll wait. Reserve my judgment until I see him.
You didn't think that he had like
he didn't have enough here for me to
Nebraska?
really pay attention.
You didn't feel
I
the
did not-
beating
I
heart
did
of
not feel it.
Nebraska come out of him?
What about Javi?
Javi's great. Javi was in Hamilton.
Oh, is that where he's from? Mm-hmm. I liked him. He was good in this.
He was in the one Transformers movie that I really liked that I got hate mail about because I wrote a positive review. But I think he has like a very sweet grounding presence, and I liked him a lot. And I like that he was kind of like a gray area character of like going corporate, but like for the same reasons that she didn't want to go corporate, but still having the heart, you know?
Speaking of going corporate, so Javi is a scientist, ex-military, and is using radar technology to image and create a model of the tornado.
Javi's a busy man.
Which is fine. I think that was really cool, the way they used a phased array radar. I know that means nothing to you.
I mean, that's what I was thinking the whole time.
That's what you were thinking.
Thank goodness they used that.
So he was doing all that, but the nefarious reason was there is a guy who comes in after tornadoes go through and buys people's land and business on the cheap, right? But what I don't understand, why would he fund tornado researchers who could, identify what a tornado is and maybe find a way to get rid of them that would ruin his business? I didn't understand the connection there. I know they needed a negative reason for Javi to have a conflict, but it didn't work.
I'm assuming the long game of that man is that he funds them. Not only then does he have like boots on the scene immediately, of people that can hand out his card, because you saw New Superman hand out his card.
Sure.
But then, if they perfect this technology, then the new things that he builds can be protected.
Oh, you mean when he buys up half of
Right,
Oklahoma?
right.
That they'll now be safe?
He's playing the long game, I think.
I think he's a little too old to be playing the long game.
Well,
which is
you know what? He needs
guess
a
for
hobby.
his family in the future. I don't know. I don't know what else you could come up with for a villain-like character.
Yeah.
And they didn't develop him much, which is fine. They just made it...
He didn't need to be a big
Right.
role.
They gave Javi some conflict, reason to have a conflict.
Right. And like, the thing is that this was heartfelt enough, but still breezy enough for a summer blockbuster.
Did we mention that both leading Javi and Tyler want to, be with Kate?
Oh, I didn't think Javi wanted to be with her.
What do you mean?
I did not think that at all.
Oh, do you miss the signs at the very, very beginning?
Javi? No.
Javi, when she was dating the other guy that died in the tornado.
Yeah.
Javi, before that, you could see in his face, the way he looked at her and the way he felt about her, he loved her. Absolutely. I don't know how you missed that. There was a one quick scene that established him as being in love with Kate.
I did not get that
And
at all.
that's why he came to find her in New
No,
York.
he came to find her.
No, not for her
because she's got
scientific knowledge.
It's not even
No.
scientific knowledge. She's riding on vibes fully. She's like, I think this is the right tornado. I don't know if I believe in science.
I guarantee you, it's written that Javi had a thing for Kate, and that was his excuse to get her back into his life by bringing her into this scientific thing. 100%.
That feels incorrect.
No, you're going to have to look this up somewhere.
Well, Dad,
and I'm going to be correct.
maybe you'll get your first email that somebody will be like, you know
Did
what?
somebody send us an email?
Okay, calm down.
Maybe the producer.
Don't be thirsty about
Don't
it.
be thirsty. What's the
Just-
director's name?
Lee.
Lee. Let me know if I'm right.
Lee's not listening. I wish
Someday
you were.
Lee might listen.
Minari's a great film.
Or actually, whoever was the scriptwriter.
I forget the scriptwriter's name, which is
He or she, please let us know.
disrespectful for us. I don't see that at all. But I did like that the romance took a backseat and then wasn't like the main. It wasn't her whole identity.
Oh no, she was a capable, intelligent, scientific woman. I thought
And
that was great.
I really appreciate it when they're hiding in the pool. And like the mom, she's like crouched down, and there's the mom and the little girl, and the mom is repeating the same thing that the boyfriend was repeating
To her,
before.
yeah.
And then you had Tyler like crouched over her, kind of, but like not embracing her or anything like that. And like you could see his hand in the corner of the shot, and I kept thinking that they were gonna like have him reach over and like protect her. And I love that they didn't do that.
That was nice. I mean, I think all the little subtle details they did beautifully.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand the pool they got into. What they were doing? They weren't just in a pool. They were sort of
they were in a weird back room.
weird back
It
room
didn't
of a
make
swimming pool, which it's like okay,
but like.
that's fine.
And then
Again,
they also
move on.
tried to like give you tips too about like what tornadoes were, and I was like, this is
Yes.
a little science lesson for me.
It really was.
I didn't retain any of it, but cool.
Well, when you move to Oklahoma, watch this movie again.
No.
Although I do wonder about that one young lady in the motel. Yes,
Oh,
in the motel,
who
said, "Oh, these things never happen. Tornadoes never hit. 9 out of 10 times. It's no big deal.
People say
This
that
is
all the
nothing."
time.
Yeah, okay. If you're living in Oklahoma, I feel like you would realize this is a real problem.
We don't live in Oklahoma,
No,
so who
but
are we to say?
we had one tornado that came through here, and we all freaked out.
yeah,
it
because
was.
we don't have them.
That's true.
That defeats your whole argument.
Okay.
All right, how many cowboy hats?
I'll give it a solid 4.
I was giving it a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh, you went to 4.5. If it was a summer blockbuster, epic movie, I'd give it a 5.
It is a summer
No, it is. No,
blockbuster.
no. If I'm putting it in that genre, it's a complete 5.
I don't get how you rate things.
But as a general movie, it's a 4 because it didn't change the way I think of the world, right? A 5 for me has to make me leave feeling different. And this was just enjoyable as hell.
If you feel it, chase it.
That is the world's worst accent you've ever done. And okay, Tina.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up. Twist it up. No, I got no ending for this.
Just say bye.
Bye.
There you go. That's it for this week's episode of Movies with My Dad. You can find all of our episodes online at movieswithmydad.com. You can also send us an email at movieswithmydadpod@gmail.com. My dad is desperate to hear from you. You can find me, Tina, on Twitter at Captain Ameripug or Letterboxd at Tina KAKADELIS.DOCX. You can find my dad at our local Home Depot. Tune in next week when we head back to the movies.